ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Hey, Bill Wendell. Nice to see you all. Thanks for joining us here on To Tell the Truth. Our first guest on this session is a Roman Catholic priest, and he is a very recent one, very recently ordained, which is not all that unusual until you see him, meet him, and hear his story, which we'll do shortly after we meet our panel here on To Tell the Truth.
Kitty Carlisle. Bill Cullen. Peggy Katz. And Henry Morgan.
Inasmuch as Peggy refused to kiss me, Henry said, "I'll kiss you if you want to, but I won't enjoy it." Now let us meet...
I lied.
You lied, Henry. Have to make up for that. Let us meet our recently ordained Roman Catholic priest.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Father Charles Fogarty.
Number two.
My name is Father Charles Fogarty.
Number three.
My name is Father Charles Fogarty.
I want to tell you, it's hard to believe to think of those three men with those three sweet faces and those collars. Two of them are liars. Isn't that a terrible thing? Let's listen to the story of Father Fogarty and see if we can figure out about him. It says, I, Charles Fogarty, became a Roman Catholic priest at the age of 78. Yes, while most people my age are basking in retirement, I'm embarking on a whole new dedication. When my wife died a number of years ago, I decided it would be best if I did something useful. I applied for a job as a male nurse, but I was rejected. I was told that I was too old. Shortly, I decided that if I couldn't take care of patients physically, I would take care of them spiritually. I entered the seminary, and I don't mind telling you that it was very rough at first. But my faith kept me going. People today need the church more than ever. I believe meditation and prayer are truly necessary for every human being. We all have God in us, and he's difficult to get rid of. Signed, Charles Fogarty. I like that last statement. We'll be back in just a moment after hearing from our sponsors. Go.
Let's play.
At Harry's, we designed our razors to start sharp and stay smooth, so your 8th shave is as smooth as your first. And at as little as $2 per blade, they cost half of what the other guys charge. Wake up to Harry's. Get your trial set for just $7 at harrys.com/smooth.
Anyone has told you that gaining weight, feeling tired, and joint issues is just a part of getting older, they are wrong. My name is Dr. Stephen Gundry, and I found a new way to support my health. It's called BioComplete 3. BioComplete 3 works by restoring your gut health from the inside out. This is working for everybody.
I was 270. I'm now 140. It just feels amazing.
You can try BioComplete 3 risk-free for 90 days. Go to guthealthsecret.com.
Across the way, we have three very kindly faces, all of whom claim to be Father Charles Fogarty, who at the age of 78 was ordained as a Roman Catholic priest. And we'll turn this spot over to Mr. Bill Cullen.
Father Fogarty, number two, how long did you have to spend in the seminary from the time you decided you wanted to become a priest until you were ordained?
4 years.
Were you not staying with number two? Were you an order priest or are you secular?
We are an order priest.
What order, number two?
Consolation Fathers.
Number one, you spent 4 years in the seminary. You became a priest when you were 78. Perhaps this isn't a fair question, but if you had to do all over again, beginning when you were a young man of, say, 17 or 18, do you wish that you had gone into the seminary then, or are you happier for having lived a great deal of your life before?
If I had known what I found out later on, I would have gone into it.
Father number 3, do you believe that perhaps the living you did between the time you got married and the time your wife passed away and you went in the seminary, do you think that helped you become a better priest?
I think it helped me to become a very, very good priest.
Number 2, Father number 2, do you think that a young fellow just out of high school going into the seminary now can at all compete with you as far as knowledge and experience and your background and things like that in doing his priestly office or performing his priestly office?
I think that a younger man should spend some time in the world before he goes into the seminary.
And we go to Peggy Cass, please.
Father number 1, where did you go to the seminary?
In New Jersey.
And Father, are you a member of the Consolation Fathers too, as well?
I am.
Well, now, Father number 3, did you have to get special permission from the bishop or the cardinal because of your age to go into the seminary? Did you have to get a special dispensation?
Yeah, in a sense, yes. I tried to enter other orders, but because of my age, they would not accept me. However, in the Consolate Fathers, I was accepted.
Thank you. Number 2, Father number 2, what do you consider that your apostolate is?
I'm deeply interested in the sick and the afflicted.
Thank you.
I tried to be a nurse.
Yes, right. Thank you. Now, Father number 1, what is the Tridentine Mass?
What is what?
The Tridentine Mass.
I don't think I know.
I'm not sure I do well anyway. Father number 3, do children still have to go to confession before their first communions?
No.
Thank you. When was that practice done away with?
That practice was done away with about 4 years ago.
Thank you. Father number 2, did you find that the studies were tough for you in the seminary because of your age, or were you able to keep right up with those young ones?
50-50.
Thank you. Now,
because of my age, I had to develop new study habits.
You don't look 78 to me.
And then, of course, I had to compete with very young men.
Thank you. Now, Father number 2 again, what is the home of your order? Where was your order founded?
In Turin, Italy.
Thank you.
And on to Henry Morgan.
Boy, I'm becoming a disbeliever.
Why?
I'm convinced by everybody.
All 3 of them are Father Fogarty.
Easy to sell. Number 3, was anybody else in your family ever in the priesthood?
No, they were not.
Now, still number 3, when you were a young man, did your mother or father suggest to you ever that you become a priest?
At no time did they suggest it.
Number 2, were you always a Catholic?
Yes.
Were you what you would we'd call a practicing Catholic, or
Yes.
just a lip service
Yes.
Catholic? Yes. Number 1, before you received your priesthood, was it necessary for you to undergo any special kind of confessional?
You mean to be adopted in the order?
Yes.
No, it was not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. And Kitty, you have the last word on
Thank
this.
you. Father number 1, in your secular life, did you have any children?
Yes.
Oh, well, I was out, but you did?
Yes.
Father number 1, did you have children?
Yes.
And number 3?
I did.
Father number 2, how do they feel about having you as a father, as a priest?
My grandchildren think it's beautiful.
Number 3, is there a retirement age for priests?
Not in the orders. The secular priests, yes, but not in the orders.
I see. Number 1, does the consolation, do the Consolation Fathers deal mostly with the sick?
Mostly the sick and the needless people, the people who are suffering.
I see. And number 2, do you hear confessions and that sort of thing? And you
surely.
You give the last rites, etc.
Surely.
Yeah. Number 3, I don't think we asked you if you felt that your children and your grandchildren have helped you to be more understanding of other people's failings.
I think they have helped greatly. They have helped us in many ways.
Thank you. Number 2, where do you work?
Oh, I'm sorry this is over because they're 3 charming men and there are a lot of questions unasked. However, we've asked all we're allowed and it's time to vote, please. We're going to vote for number 1, or for number 2, or for number 3. And we pay $50 to the gentleman for each wrong vote. We pay $500 if nobody comes up with the real Father Fogarty. And Bill Cullen starts.
I think it's amazing. Things have changed. And although this would have been possible even in my day when I was a kid, that a man who had a family and whose wife had died could always have gone into the priesthood. There's nothing new about that. But I keep thinking how interesting it is to say to one of the kids, come on, let's go see my father, the father. But then when I've said that, I really have nothing else to say, so I voted for number 2.
Well, we got a 2 showing, and Peggy just looks so sure of herself.
No, I'm not. I just can't get over that number 2 doesn't look any 78 to me. That's the only thing.
78 when he started, when he entered the priesthood. 4 years of training, that comes up to 82.
Well, see? Oh, gee. Well, number 1 didn't know the Tridentine Mass, which is the Latin Masses, I believe. And number 3, I wasn't sure at 100% when you first came out you knew you were a priest, so I voted for 2.
And we've got a pair of 2s, and they're in the middle. And Henry?
Well, taking everybody else's reasons and agreeing more or less with them, when the fathers made their first appearance, number 2 seemed to have particular pride. Now, if that was an act, it was such a good one that I voted for number 2.
It convinced you anyhow. So everybody's got 2. And Kitty, what do you want to do?
When they first came out, I wanted to vote for number 1. And then I decided I should vote for number 3 because he's not used to calling himself Father Charles Fogarty. And he said, my name is Charles Fogarty. Because all those years he'd said, my name is Charles Fogarty. But I voted for number 2.
What is that?
Very good.
If Kitty, that is so different. All the reasons in the world to vote for 3. So she says, now I'll vote for number 2. Well, the votes are in. Will the real Father Charles Fogarty please stand up, sir? Thank you, Father Fogarty. Thank you, Father Fogarty. If you will be seated, sir, we'll find out about your friends. Number 1, what is your real name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Axel Gravem. I'm a lawyer living in Orleans, Massachusetts. I'm associated with the International Geophysical Explorations Company in Chile, in Honduras, looking for oil.
Well, good luck to you. Number 3, how about you, sir?
My name is Frank Daly. I'm assistant manager at the Americana Hotel and the Americana Inn in New York City.
Yeah, there. Father Fogarty, somewhere in the conversation it came up that you have grandchildren, but I think it goes even further than that. How many grandchildren have you?
I have 6 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. 1
great-grandchild. How marvelous. Well, thank you, Father Fogarty, and thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. Take care. Our next topic is babysitting, and you're going to meet a young lady who says that she can turn the most stumblebum of sitters into a bundle of household joy. So hang around.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on DealDash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Introducing Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of whole body deodorant, like Mando. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and controls odor for 72 hours. And before you say it, Mando works better than a shower with soap alone. Rather than covering up BO with heavy fragrance, Mando's unique formula stops odor before it starts. That's my secret to better odor control everywhere. Mando's unlike anything you've ever tried before. Get over 30% off at shopmando.com.
When surprise breakdowns happen, American Home Shield will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money by connecting you with qualified pros and helping pay for covered repairs or replacements. AHS offers flexible and affordable plans for every home. Sign up today and get $100 off with code AHS100. Visit AHS.com or call 833-PLAN-AHS.
Addiction is an epidemic. Millions are struggling and over 100 lives are lost each day. Are you next? At Better Addiction Care, we understand the devastating impact of drug and alcohol addiction. Our network of treatment centers offer detox, therapy, counseling, private luxurious centers, physical fitness, chef-prepared meals, aftercare, and your insurance may cover up to 100% of costs. Visit betteraddictioncare.com or call 855-598-9901.
Now let us meet our expert on babysitting.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Ruby Saunders.
Number 2.
My name is Ruby Saunders.
Number 3.
My name is Ruby Saunders.
And here is the sitting story of Ruby Saunders. It says, I, Ruby Saunders, am the editor of Young Miss magazine. As such, I'm well versed in the world's youngest profession, babysitting. Babysitting has become a profitable and enjoyable job for the boy or girl who takes it seriously. And it is a serious business. Whether you're staying with an infant or a 6-year-old, always remember that their life is in your hands. I've written a handbook on the subject in which I advise prospective sitters on how to find jobs and how much to charge. I also discuss proper safety precautions and explain just what a sitter's responsibilities entail. My book is called The Concise Guide to Babysitting, and it's signed Ruby Saunders. And Peggy Cass, up until now, I don't think you've had to cope with the babysitting problem.
I used to be a babysitter.
Did you?
Yeah, I got 50 cents an hour. Number 1, what is the going rate now?
$1 to $1.25 an hour.
Ah, how time flies. Gee, if I'd got it $1 an hour, I never, maybe wouldn't have ever given it up. Number 2, do you think $1 to $1.50 an hour is the going rate all around the country, or?
It depends on whether you're in a rural area or an urban area. For instance, in New York, it runs around $1.50.
Thank you. Now, number 3, if parents should get a babysitter from an agency, call up for an agency for a babysitter, is the agency responsible for what that babysitter does?
Well, we're speaking about young babysitters between the ages of 12 and 16, and generally they would not be affiliated with an agency.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Now, number 1, is it the parent's responsibility to leave the name of a doctor or a close friend, right?
Oh, of course,
well,
and where she's going.
And now, but number 1, what is the responsibility of a babysitter? I mean, she can't help it if the kid gets sick. She can just call the doctor. I mean, what are the responsibilities?
Well, the responsibility in the case of the child's getting ill is to call the doctor, and the parent should make sure that the sitter knows the doctor's phone number and or address, and to notify the parent, and if she can't, to call an ambulance to take care of the situation.
Hey, and that buzzer takes us to Henry, please.
If you got 50 cents, dear,
yeah,
and the dollar is now worth about 1/4 of what it was 20 years ago.
Oh, are you going to give me an economic lesson?
No, I just want to know how old you were when you got the 50 cents.
About 16.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Number 5. Thank you very much. Very good. Number 2. Before you were the editor of this magazine, what writing background did you have?
I was an English major in college, and I've been on the editorial staff of Parents Magazine.
Thank you. Number 3, what was your writing background?
Well, Calling All Girls preceded Junior Miss, and I've been with the same magazine for all the years they've been in existence. Number
1, do you envision yourself as going onward? That is, this is sort of a small, select thing you're doing now. Do you have a future? Are you going to leave babysitting and go on into some other dimension?
Well, I have written books for children on other subjects and plan to continue writing books.
And with that, we go down to Kitty Carlisle.
Thank you. Number 3, what do you put in your book in terms of etiquette for babysitters? For instance, I mean, are they allowed to bring a friend? Can they eat whatever's in the icebox? That sort of thing.
Absolutely not. And also we discuss grooming and not to wear your oldest and most tattered pants whenever possible.
Number 2, are they allowed to bring a friend?
Definitely not. It's a job, and you're on the job when you are babysitting.
Thank you. Number one, now the reverse is also important. Babysitters very often, young babysitters go into houses where things are not really what they should be. It can be dangerous. What do you tell them about that? How to choose the job?
Well, I always suggest that they visit in the home in advance of the sitting job and get to meet the parents, get to meet the child. And if the youngster feels that that's a home in which she'd not care to sit, she can always make an excuse, I'm sorry, but I've made a previous appointment or something of that sort.
Thank you. Number two, how do they get paid?
I'm sorry, Kitty. Bill Cullen gets another way.
Well, I got to straighten something up. Peggy said she only got 50 cents an hour, and that was some time ago, and to straighten it out, my friends all give Peggy $4.50 an hour now. I mean, things have certainly come on, and she's worth every penny of it. Don't you hit me. Number three, these 12 and 16-year-old children who do this for you, how many of 100 12 or 16-year-old children, how many do you find capable of doing this?
Well, the older they get, the more confident they are. And hopefully, it also depends upon how many siblings they had in their family, so that if they're not capable, I think the youngsters themselves don't seek too many more jobs if they find that they're uneasy in the situation.
Interesting. Then, number one, do you have many only children who babysit?
The book was written for babysitters. I don't run a babysitting service. But very often, youngsters, boys and girls, who like younger children, who get along well with younger children, make excellent sitters, whether they're an only child or whether they're one of 10 children.
All righty, this game is over, friends. Everything but the voting. And the voting is going to be as follows: for number one, or for number two, or for number three. And I personally...
Next, it's a plethora of word puzzles on Password Plus that'll keep you guessing, plus another Password Plus after that. Oh, it's a Password Plus party, if you will. Stay tuned.
Whoa, now that's a smooth shave. You might think these guys had to pay top dollar for a shave that smooth, but they just used Harry's. With 5 blades that stay sharp, shave after shave, a lubricating strip with aloe, a flex hinge, and a trimmer blade, it's hard to believe refills start at just $2, half of what the other guys charge. Shaving with Harry's isn't pricey. It's just very, very, very smooth. Wake up to Harry's. Get your trial set for just $7 at harrys.com/smooth.
At Grainger, we know the ones who get it done wear a lot of hats. That's why we're always here for you with professional-grade products and the knowledge to help answer tough product questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Tell the people why you haven't done it already, my man. It started off as a chip and grew into a crack, and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I went ahead and scheduled an appointment online at safelight.com. Told them to meet us here at the beach.
Let's get started.
Oh, SafeLight repair.
SafeLight replace.
Yes!
Schedule free mobile service at safelight.com.
SafeLight repair, SafeLight replace.
Why is Navage perfect for allergies?
People who have allergies will have lots of problems. If someone's exposed to allergens, they can get rid of those immediately by washing out the nose. Navage works by pulling saline in one nostril, through the nose and out the other nostril, sucking out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs. Experience on-the-spot relief so you can breathe easier, sleep better, feel healthier. If you have seasonal allergies, Navage can help.
Available at major retailers or online at Navage.com.
I think it's a good team over there. A tough one to spot. Let's see. Peggy?
Well, there's one thing nobody mentioned. It's terrible when a mother calls a babysitter and leaves the dishes in the sink and says, "You won't mind doing those, will you, honey?" Honey-minded. I vote for one.
So we've got one Sean and Henry.
I was going to vote for one. And then I thought, no, Peggy's going to vote for one.
What is this?
I don't know, it's the heat. So I voted for number 3.
So, at the opposite end, we've got a 1 and a 3. And Kitty?
I voted for number 3. I thought she gave very good answers, and she was very businesslike and knew exactly what to tell the kids, so...
So, there we go. All right, Bill Cullen, you got the last vote.
Yeah, look at that. I, too, voted for number 3. She sounded like someone who had an axe to grind. No pun intended. But I voted for number 3 for that reason.
Not me.
All right, it's almost unanimous on number 3. Let's see how it turns out. At this point, will the real Ruby Saunders please stand up?
La 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 takes one enough.
Who had it? Peggy did, huh? Let's find out who Ruby's friends are. Number 2, what is your real name, please, and what do you do?
My name is Nancy Beth Falloon. I'm a designer of theatrical costumes, and I'm an only child.
Oh, yeah. Number 3, most convincing. What is your real name? What do you do?
Thank you. My name is Susan Teltzer, and I teach adult school classes in creativity in New Jersey. Thank you.
Ruby Saunders, getting back to Peggy's question, when the parent says you wouldn't mind washing those dishes, what do you advise the babysitter to do in that situation?
Explain that she wouldn't mind at all as long as she's paid extra for it.
So, in other words, all right, you do charge for that. Good thinking. Thank you very much, Ruby Saunders, and thank you, ladies, as well. Take care.
Hello, I'm former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. A lot of times you can't control the amount of sleep that you're getting. You can't fall asleep or you're tossing and turning all night. You can't get the sleep you need to stay healthy. I know, it's scary unless you use Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep is a product that's made from natural ingredients, and it usually works from the very first night you try it. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed, earning your body those quality hours of sleep that it desperately needs.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people who've experienced the relief and health benefits from getting a great night's sleep, and get Relaxium Sleep.
The first time I took Relaxium and I slept through the night, I thought, wow, this worked for me. I could not believe it.
Relaxium Sleep is studied, tested, and designed by a neurologist to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed.
Relaxium Sleep worked from the very first night I took it. I had more focus and mental clarity than I've had in years.
Relaxium is drug-free and not addictive, so you can take Relaxium every night and never worry about side effects. And the best part is, it can start working from the very first night.
When I take Relaxium Sleep, I sleep better than I have in years.
I wake up feeling like I've had the best night's sleep.
Stop being afraid and start sleeping your fears away with Relaxium Sleep. Your body and your mind will thank you.
Mike Huckabee is so confident that Relaxium will work for you, he's asked us to give away 1,000 bottles.
If you're not getting calm enough to go to sleep, take Relaxium Sleep. I promise you it'll work.
Get your risk-free bottle of Relaxium Sleep now. It's guaranteed to work or your money back. Visit TryRelaxium.com or call 800-418-1635. That's TryRelaxium.com or call 800-418-1635.
Does a physical or mental health condition keep you from working? Do you need help applying for disability benefits? Or have you already been denied disability? Call Disability Help today. Get the Social Security disability benefits you deserve. Get connected with disability representatives nationwide without leaving your home. Social Security disability cases are time sensitive. Don't wait and call the number on your screen now.
Am I mistaken, or is babysitting a fairly modern phenomenon?
And what is it? They said it.
Yes,
When they said, excuse me, when they said it was the youngest profession, I've been doing it for years.
It seemed to me when I was a kid that you always had a grandmother around, or an aunt, or somebody, you know?
A neighbor.
A neighbor, yeah. Well, who are always a great deal more permissive than your parents, as I recall. We'll see you next time around, friends. Thanks for tuning in.
This is Bill Wendell speaking for it to tell the truth. A Mark Goodson, Bill Tutman production.